It is a sunny day here at the Winkin Sports Complex here in Bangor, Maine at Husson University. Hello everyone, I'm Max Sturm, and I'm joined alongside Sam Miller for this presentation of Division III Women's Field Hockey. Today we have the UMaine Farmington Beavers going up against the Husson University Eagles. Sam, these two teams faced off just 1 week ago. Eagles came away with a 13-0 win, but the difference is this time it's a playoff game. So what do both teams need to do to kind of get themselves in the groove here?
Well, as you said, Max, last time these two teams played, it was a pretty one-sided affair, and unfortunately, Farmington, that's just kind of been their year. I mean, they've only scored four goals on the year, and of course, but if you are Farmington, as you said, it is playoff atmosphere. Everything's a little bit different. The stakes are a little bit higher, and if you're the Beavers, what you want to do is just really find your way into that shooter circle and spend a lot of time there if you can. Some notable names to look out for is Gabby Vincenson and Winter Adams, who have two of the goals for the Beavers this year. So really watch out for them and expect them to be involved very early on.
Both of those two have been pretty good on a team that really hasn't had a lot of bright sides. 0-14 coming into today, and 5 goals on the season total. So they're certainly looking. They're definitely a team that's rebuilding sort of sense, but they are looking to get back into it with a win here today. The Eagles looking to go for the sweep here versus the Beavers. We're going to send it down to PA announcer Joseph Swanson, and we'll be back shortly. Don't go anywhere on the Husson Eagles Sports Network.
Today's semifinal matchup features the Beavers versus Maine at Farmington, taking on the Eagles of Husson University. Husson University would like to thank its corporate sponsors, Adidas, Irish Art Cleaning and Restoration Incorporated, Buffalo Wild Wings, Aaron Stein, Casella, Chick-fil-A, Courtyard Marriott Bangor, Creative Shirt Services, Prosser Insurance, Sear Plus Line, Domino's, Downey's Orthopedics, Dice Arts, First National Bank, Gatorade, Greenway Equipment Sales, Harvest Deli, Spear Sports Grill and Entertainment Center, Holiday Inn, Pizzeria Uno, Ron's Movies, Taco Bay Orthopedics or Sports Physical Therapy, Full Street Adventures Incorporated, Ticket Smart, U.S. Air Force, Barney Blue, Team Mazda, and White Sports. The NCAA and Husson University Sports by the Chiefs coaches inspected this contest. junior from Pittsfield, Maine, number 16, Ella Louder. A sophomore from North Conway, New Hampshire, number 17, Tessa Capizzoli. A sophomore from Saco, Maine, number 18, Faith Tillotson. A senior from Winslow, Maine, number 22, Carly Ramsdell. And a senior from Winthrop, Maine, number 27, Abby Ross. Eagles are coached by Kate Nadella. She's assisted by Brittany Foster. Fans, this time as please rise in honor of America with a playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Sam Miller. We are just about to get underway here for this Division III field hockey action. Sam, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame. Beavers really had a tough time this season, a rebuilding season certainly, but that is due in part to who they have on their team. They don't have a lot of upperclassmen. They have a few seniors, and most of them are captains, but other than that, a lot of freshmen and sophomore players.
Yeah, and having that experience factor on your team, as little as it might be, is crucial in any given sport that you need. Having that veteran leadership and expertise is absolutely crucial for any team that you have. And, of course, the Beavers really, as you said, not too very many upperclassmen have kind of been lacking that this entire year. But those who have been able to step up really stepped up in a big way. So see how these captains, such as Paris Howes and Haley Capano, for the Beavers step up big time for today.
And head coach Mary Sinclair really has done all she can to kind of build this team around. I think she probably came into this season knowing it wouldn't be exactly what she wanted or what the team wanted, but she's hoping that these players will trust the process and eventually get to a point where they are a team competitive in this conference. We are about to get underway here. I think a player we should watch for the Beavers, Sam, really taking this from the last game, is sophomore defense Elizabeth Kendall, number 21. She really did a lot of good work down in the shooting circle, and trust me, there was a lot of it. The Eagles really had the possession majority of the time. I think we saw one shot all game, maybe in the fourth quarter from this Beavers squad, but other than that, the ball was on the Beavers defense the entire time. So we'll see how this one pans out today. A little bit of experience now for the Beavers playing against the Eagles. We'll see if they approach it any differently here today. And this one's off. And it'll be Cassavant, the first to touch it. There's Kendall right there trying to get a clear out. And that was a huge issue in the last game, is clears were not very successful for the Beavers, and that one isn't right there. The Eagles will take control here.
Expect a lot of aggressiveness from the Eagles very on in that game. In their turnout against Thomas, they really put a number on their Thomas defenders, getting aggressive very early on, and they're going to look to do that again today.
And a crossing pass is kind of tipped off there by Paris Howes, the senior captain for this Beavers squad. And it'll roll out of bounds. Eagles will take possession. A swift move right there, but unable to control it. Goes out on the far sideline. And Sam, a lot of times in the last game, the Eagles did turn the ball over quite a bit. Gave the Beavers a chance to make something of it, but like I said, they really had a lot of trouble transitioning the ball down the field.
You have to give a lot of credit to the Eagles' defense as well. They've always been consistently aggressive throughout this entire season. every single player on the Eagles has some shape or form of impact on the team, and those Eagles defenders this year have been nothing short of just spectacular. There's going to foul on the play right there from the Beavers. But yes, expect the Eagles to be aggressive on both sides of the field and control the pace early on.
And this one centered across and able to get a stick on it is Ella Grant. She had herself a game last time despite the score. Made a lot of saves, actually. This one's going to roll out of bounds around the 30 here on the opposite side of the field. And so now the Beavers will have a chance to kind of play defense a little bit farther out, see if they can get a stop and maybe transition the ball to offense.
This is what you want if you're the Beavers. You want to keep the ball on the Eagles side of the field. The more time you give the Eagles any chance to score on your side of the field, that's just what's going to bite you in the foot right there. So what you want to do is just control the possession if you can and just make sure that the Eagles' extremely aggressive players just do not take control of the game.
And speaking of aggressive, there's a good play there by Paris Howes, able to get a stick on it, force it out of bounds. Eagles will retain possession. It's going to roll out here. We'll see where they call it. They say it's still the Eagles. And that'll be Tillotson who will inbound now. It'll go to Ramsdale. Ramsdale inbounds, and it's tipped by a Beavers player. Casavant trying to make something of it, but it's taken away. Here's Perkins. Perkins just so shifty with the ball. One of the better stick and ball handlers that I've seen from this Eagles squad throughout the season, throughout the few games that I've been able to broadcast. She's just somehow able to get by defenders almost effortlessly. And we'll have our first penalty corner of the game. Tillotson will inbound. And this has also been a huge talking point for the Eagles this season. They've had a lot of opportunities in the penalty corner. And they've been running a very similar play. But this time they actually ship it out to the left, different from what we've seen. And a long shot is blocked, I believe, by an Eagles player.
Yeah, we had an Eagles forward right there on the play. Perkins lined it up, and it looked like he had a really good line to go into the goal. But an Eagles player, as you said, right there in the way. Nonetheless, it'll stay right here with the Eagles.
The aforementioned Elizabeth Kendall clears it out and ends that penalty corner opportunity. Eagles still have it. Here's Baker. Baker with maybe a shot opportunity. Bounces off the leg of Grant. Almost rebounded. But go out of bounds. Very aggressive offensive play so far.
Absolutely. I mean, Baker had a shot right there, and Perkins looked like it was going off the pad of Ella Grant on the play. Perkins was right there, almost rebounded it, as you said, but nonetheless, it'll go back to the Beavers, and we'll see what the Beavers can do here to kind of just maybe take control of the game and get some possession on their side of the field.
And quick feet will win this one. Eagles first to it right here, but now some aggressive defense from number 13, Winter Adams. And eventually taken away by Ramsdale.
That's exactly what you want to do if you are the Beavers. You can't give any player, especially someone like Perkins, who is as shifty and as fast as Perkins said.
Inside. Penalty corner coming up, but a good stand there by the Beavers defense, not allowing the ball to get any bit closer. We saw a lot last week when these two teams faced off that Grant was really good at tracking down the ball when she had room to see it. She was very good at getting those stops and avoiding extra goals being tacked on, but then there was a lot of plays where the Eagles would crowd the middle and make it hard to see the ball, and that's where they were able to capitalize on their opportunities. This one's dipped out to the right. And good save by Grant. Again, sees that one coming. Easy save for her, just off the stick. Here's Kendall now, just trying to find someone to clear to. She'll send it out of bounds.
That was a good defensive stance right there from the individual defense from Tessa Capazzoli on the play, really making it hard for Kendall to find somebody on that play, and as a result, had to knock that one out of bounds.
Far side now, heavy pressure, able to find an open player. And there's a shot, but it gets blocked a little bit before getting to the goaltender. She just lets it roll out of bounds.
That was Willie right there once again, just in the middle of the play. She's been involved very early on. Expect to see more of that as this game progresses.
Perkins looking for Baker, and that one's just wide. It's off the back wheel. Kind of hard to tell if that one went in or not. It bounced up a little bit, but it goes just wide of the right, or wide of the net. Once again, picked off in transition. And a foul on the Eagles will send it the other way. Bliss tried to get it away, but it was intercepted by Baker. Baker now looking to make a move. She's trying to find any clear space, but she will get the foul there. Might have touched the ball with the wrong side of the stick.
That's exactly what you want to do if you are Gabby Vincentson. Do not let the Eagles ball handlers have any sort of open field to work with. Vincentson had the right idea, getting right into Baker's space right there and breaking up the play.
Vincentson, one of those really good players for this team. Only a sophomore, but is the leading scorer as far as total points go. Now down in the defensive end, the Eagles will have to try and clear for the first time. And they're having some trouble. There's Kendall making it difficult. Regardless, able to get it through. Capozzoli now with maybe a potential run. A great centering pass across the middle, but it hits off the foot. It'll go the other way. Kendall gets it out to No and intercepted once again. Back inside the offensive zone. Shot, and that one's wide to the left. Baker already with a few shot opportunities in this game. Trying to make the most of it. Still have not been able to capitalize yet, are the Eagles. Penalty corner going to come up on this one. That penalty will go on number 9, Haley Capano. And I think these penalty corners are really where the Eagles want to try and start to build their momentum and their lead. They've done very well with that so far. Here's Perkins. That one might have just missed a little bit. A missed hit. Bounces over the net. So once again, another good defensive stop by the Beavers. Defense certainly really hasn't been their issue. It's more about getting to offense and then what you do if you're able to get it to the offensive zone.
And going back to that penalty corner attempt by Perkins, she had a very nice lineup for a shot right there. It looked like it had a little bit to go, but as you said, good defensive stance for the Beavers. They faced a lot of shots throughout this game. Grant in particular has been stellar when trying to face a lot of those shots. The stat sheet might not say like it, but Grant has been playing really well in that goal for the Beavers. And I expect her to see a lot of action today. As you mentioned, Avery Baker has seen a lot of shots so far on the goal. And the last time these two teams matched up, 9 different players found the goal for the Eagles. So expect a lot of shots to fall up and expect the Beavers defense to be on point today.
I think that's what the Eagles really have to be proud of, and as well as Coach Caitlin Doloff just really has done a good job building a team that has so much chemistry that you feel like you can throw anybody into the game and they can go out and make an impact. Like you said, 9 different players finding the back of the net last time. And back to Avery Baker, she really, at the beginning of the season, wasn't seeing as much time, but since has stepped into a starting role and has been effective. A lot of shots, a lot of good offensive opportunities for her. Just hasn't capitalized on too many of them, but she has come away with 4 goals and 2 assists for a total of 10 points on the year. So going into her senior year next year, you could definitely expect her to have more of an impact on this team.
And Baker's slow start, that has nothing to really do with their playing time. It's just the amount of depth that these Eagles have on their roster just makes it so hard for anybody to get and to really pinpoint one particular person really standing out and doing well. When you have so many players on the Eagles who really contribute in many different ways, especially on the offensive end of the field, it does get kind of hard to just kind of track down who's doing what and at what certain time. But the Eagles, very, very deep, as we got a good stop right here from the Beavers.
Beavers with an incredible defensive stand. Once again, they have done a really good job not allowing the Eagles to really have any solid opportunities down in the shooting zone. Their transition defense has certainly been a lot better. Vincentson tries to make a play on it now. She will, and will get it out to a teammate, that being number 7, Paris House. But she has it taken away quickly by Perkins. Perkins, again, we said very shifty, finds her way through a few defenders there. Will take the shot, and it was blocked. Still in the middle, up for grabs. Grant's just going to fall on it, still rolling around, and that one goes in for the Eagles. That one comes from Tessa Capozzoli. And the Eagles will take a 1-0 lead with about 5:30 left in this opening quarter, Sam.
Yeah, that was really good defense by the Beavers, too. It looked like they stopped the shot for a little bit. Grant got a hand in on there, and some Beavers defenders kind of swarmed the ball. But Capozzoli, right place, right time, perfect placement right into the goal, and the Eagles have broken the ice here in this first period.
Make that Capozzoli's 11th goal on the season. That puts her in first on the team for goals. And that statistic She has been electric for the Eagles so far in this season, and in playoff time is showing up once again. Just, again, speaks to the depth that this Eagles team has and the team that they have built. Capizoli, only a sophomore. They will have her for a few more years, and I'm sure that is something that head coach Caitlin Doloff is very excited about. Once again, back in the offensive zone, but unable to save it are the Eagles, so it'll go back the other way.
Yeah, going back to Capizoli, 11th goal in the year with 36 shots on goal with that last one, really having herself, as you said, a very solid campaign. And it is one of the many building blocks that the Eagles are looking to kind of just build upon for the future. And definitely a player you want to watch out for as this field hockey team continues to grow.
So this one will be sent over in the corner after a good defensive play and foul draw by Capano. And Eagles able to take it away quickly once again, but heavy pressure from Kendall as well as Nadeau. I want to fly out of bounds once again. I think the Beavers are kind of just approaching this from a don't allow them to get too close standpoint. If you can keep them out of that shooting circle for the most part, you're going to stand a much better chance. It's clear to see that they have learned from their experience in the last game, because at this point they were already down 4 goals. Now just 1. You still can come away with something in this opening quarter.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Max. The defensive sharpness for the Beavers looks exponentially better than it did in that first game. And, of course, talking about the playoff time, too, as we talked about during pregame, the stakes are a little bit higher, a lot more to lose. So expect the Beavers to just continue this defensive intensity from here on out. Obviously, Husson came away with the first goal of the game. But as we mentioned, the Beavers' defense just looks a lot more sharp and focused today. And we're going to see them continue that streak as this game progresses.
And I think not just in college field hockey, but really every college sport, it doesn't matter what the season was like before the playoffs. It's a totally different energy and different mindset for every player once you make it to the playoffs in a collegiate event. So you can definitely tell that the Beavers are really putting everything they have into this game so far. This one's actually down on the opposite side of the field now. The Eagles struggling to get a clean clear on this one, but eventually we'll find an open player. A little bit of a run here. Here's Perkins again. That time it gets chipped away. Trying to make another move. Unable to do so. Good defense there by the Beavers. And I believe Cassavant just got the leg of Bouchard. So that was a penalty. Penalty corner coming up for the Eagles. And this is their 3rd of the game.
That's going to go with, that was Emma Willie on the play for that penalty corner for the Beavers. And she's played a lot of very good individual defense. She had the initial breakup before the play before that one. And we're going to see here really just stay involved and stay aggressive as this game moves forward. Willie has been one of their premier defenders on this team, one of those few bright spots on the defensive end. So let's see how much action she'll see here.
This one's up to Perkins. Crosses it for Bouchard. Bouchard with the shot and kicked out by Grant, but still in the zone. Eagles trying to make something happen of it. And that one goes into the back of the net. 2-0 Eagles.
That was Tillotson scooping it right in off the play. As you said, good play there from Grant. Was set up by a teammate on the right-hand corner. Tillotson just came right through the middle. And the Eagles now a 2-score lead with 2:22 left to play in this first period.
A stroke of bad luck for Ella Grant and this Beavers team. Both of the goals so far come off of really good saves that just weren't able to be corralled entirely. And so 2-0 now, Eagles with 2:20 remaining.
And it was really good defense by the Beavers as well. Grant had a heck of a save, and the Beavers were they were all over the field in that play, just kind of swarming the middle. But Tillotson was able just to sneak that shot right in underneath the pads of Grant. And as a result, the Eagles will take an early 2-0 lead. But the Beavers now still plenty of game left to play, and expect them to be a lot more aggressively, not just defensively, but offensively as we move forward.
Here's Perkins able to intercept that pass attempt. See what she does here. Crosses it. And a shot. That one blocked, but still there in the zone and eventually cleared out. I believe that was number 5, Allie Bliss.
Good reaction play there from Bliss. Capizoli lined it up like she was going for another shot, but Bliss right there to put a stop to that one.
Perkins again And get a centering pass, but Kendall's there to knock it out. So that'll stay with the Eagles, I believe. Yes, it will. So Perkins will take it from the 25. Similar play design, that time intercepted by Kendall. Just trying to keep it in bounds now. And Howes does a good job doing that, but Ramsdale able to pick it up. Now she's heading to the net. A little bit of open space in there. And a diving save attempt by Grant. Might have been the difference between a goal and no goal.
Beautiful hustle right there from Ella Grant. Capazzoli once again looks like she had a nice shot lined up. But Grant with the little extra movement right there, saving what could have been a 3-0 deficit for the Beavers.
Back inside the zone now. Oh, and again, it's Capazzoli trying to get a shot off. Bouchard gets her chance. No go. Capazzoli. And eventually, penalty corner will be called.
That's going to go on Kendall. We saw as soon as the ball went into the shooting circle, the entire Beavers squad was just swarmed in the middle of that circle, just trying to get that ball out. A little bit too much contact there from Kendall, and as a result, the Eagles have another opportunity to put some points on the board.
Remember, the time doesn't expire until the penalty corner attempt is over, so this is no time on this one. Sent to the side for Capazzoli. Unable to get a clean shot on it. Bouchard now unable to do anything with it. It's a penalty on the Eagles. Time's running out, 5 seconds left in the first quarter. And that'll do it for the first quarter of action. Eagles up 2-0 here early on with goals by both Capazzoli and Tillison. A very good first quarter from both teams, honestly, Sam.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw a lot of good things from both teams, of course. We knew the Eagles were going to come out and be aggressive on the offensive side of the ball, and they did just that, getting 2 early goals on in the game. We give a lot of credit to the Farmington defense, as we talked about. They seem a lot sharper, way more sharper defensively than they did in that first game against the Eagles. It seems like they kind of picked up on the Eagles' game plan. They've noticed who to watch out for on the field, and as a result, their defense has looked a lot cleaner despite letting up the 2 scores.
And when we come back, we will have the second quarter of action for you. Don't go anywhere. This is the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Sam Miller. Husson University Eagles up 2-0 over the UMaine Farmington Beavers as we enter the second quarter. We had a goal by both Capazzoli and Ruby Kitchen in that first one. But remember, Sam, in the last game, the Eagles had scored twice as many goals exiting the first quarter. So we've definitely seen a lot of improvement from this Beavers defense.
Yeah, as a result, I mean, as we talked about, 9 different scorers found the goal for the Eagles in that last one, and the Beavers know they've definitely done their homework. They've cleaned up what they needed to clean up on the field, and we've seen a result of that. Of course, being down 2-0 doesn't look very good right now, but at the same time, though, you've noticed in their body language and the way they're playing, everything about the Beavers just looks completely different from that last game against the Eagles. And as we talked about, their defense has been stellar. So let's see if they can get some offense on the field now and mount a little bit of a comeback.
Much of the possession went to the Eagles. This one's picked off already by the Eagles. And defense played well by number 11, Emma Willie. Possession went majority to the Eagles in that first period, but we also saw the Beavers have a little bit of time down in their end, which I think attributes to the score being a little bit closer than it was in the last one.
Absolutely, and I mean, if you're the Beavers, you really need to find some way to keep the ball on the Eagles side of the field. Of course, the Eagles and their defense will not make it easy by any means, but in this atmosphere, getting down 2-0 early does not bode well for any given team, especially a team like the Eagles that can light you up in more ways than one.
So it'll be Perkins taking it from the top. That one's bounced off a defender. Ramsdale able to corral it. Now 3 on. That one just kind of slips through a few players. Capozzoli looking for the centering pass to Tillotson. Not there.
Beautiful pass right there from Capozzoli, just past 2 defenders. Tillotson was at the right position. Very, very good center spot right there. But again, credit to Ella Grant for holding her ground and kicking that ball out and saving a possession for the Beavers. Nonetheless, it will result in a penalty corner.
Like you said, another penalty corner coming up. Eagles haven't really been successful on this so far. Passing to Bouchard now. She'll have to chase it down as she wasn't able to fully control that. Down in the corner. And a shot from Perkins. Saved by Grant. And then, my goodness, Ella Grant. Oh, and it finally finds the back of the net for the Eagles. Grant with an incredible save, only for a rebounded shot.
Man, a beautiful save right there from Grant. Just the flexibility it took to get to the ball where it was, which is absolutely phenomenal. And it was Baker that came away with the goal on that play.
It was Faith Tillotson actually coming away with the goal, but Avery Baker is credited with the assist on that one. Again, just 3 different scorers already, Sam, for this Eagles team. They're trying to find everybody. Avery Baker does a good job finding Tillotson off of the rebound. Now the Beavers will push up. It's DeRosey. Roseby on the far sideline, just trying to find something. Defended well by the Eagles. And I think DeRoseby will get a penalty on that one, sending it the other way.
Yeah, it's not really what you want if you're the Beavers. You had an opportunity to keep the ball on your side of the field. Those fouls, especially on that side if you're the Beavers, will really just come back to haunt you. No pun intended for Halloween that just passed for us. But, yeah, you really just want to find a way to keep the ball on your offensive side of the field and not let the Eagles get any momentum to score.
Capozzoli sends it across the field looking for Perkins, but it's not there. I believe a foul will keep it with the Eagles, though. Sun's coming out here in Bangor, Maine. We talked about it a little bit last week. Kind of hard to see those Eagles jerseys with the sun directly across from us. So we will do our best over here. Here's Ramsdale now. Gets it to Perkins. Perkins doesn't play that far corner all too often. Sent back to Ramsdale. A quick shot inside from long distance. And another one there. A lot of rebounds off of a save from Grant. This time the play is stopped, but it will be another penalty corner.
And notice how the Eagles, they really seem to favor Tillotson taking out those penalty corners. They really seem to trust her passing and getting it to her teammates on these attempts. As we talked about throughout this game, the Eagles so far not successful on any penalty corner opportunities. We'll see what happens here.
This one's sent out to Bouchard. Centering pass inside, and that one makes it into the back of the net. That's going to be Faith Tillotson with her second of the game.
Tillotson, once again, just being at the right place at the right time. She's been one of those players that really seems to be where you need her at the exact moment you need her. I mean, of course, Grant, once again, a nice save, but Tillotson right there to rebound that shot. And the Eagles now, as we saw in that first game, slowly but surely starting to build a lot of momentum on the scoring side of the ball.
Tillotson with the goal, and credit Maddie Perkins with the assist. Tillotson now with 12 on the year after that second goal of this game. Eagles up 4-0. Just under 12 minutes to go in the first half. And now it's desperation time if you're the Beavers.
And going back to that last goal and that assist for Perkins, that puts her in double-digit assists for the year. Of course, it just goes to show how versatile she is as a player, not just as comfortable passing the ball to a teammate as she is scoring the ball. But as you said, Max, with the clock ticking away here in the second period, still, of course, a lot of game left to play and a lot of time for a lot of things to happen. But if you're the Beavers, it's go time.
Perkins, the lone player on this Eagles squad to have double digits in both goals and assists. Definitely an all-around team player for this Eagles squad. Not solely focused on the goals, but can score them. Here's Ramsdell now, tightly defended by Nadeau. And a foul on the Eagles will send it the other way. Aggressive defense there from Tillotson. She'll shoot it, and it's blocked out of bounds, believed by Anna Zinnerman for the Beavers.
Zimmerman checking in and immediately making an impact. Tillotson looked like she had yet another beautiful shot opportunity right there. But Zimmerman, perfect timing right there on the defensive play. There's another foul here on the Beavers.
Perkins tries to make that move, but gets fouled anyway, so they'll just reset it. Ramsdell far outside. Makes a pretty move inside. Now just looking for a centering pass are the Eagles. Here's one outside. And that's going to be a penalty corner. Couldn't really tell if that one went in or what, but nonetheless a great save by Ella Grant.
Yeah, it was Capazzoli lining up for the shot once again. She's had herself a few very nice-looking shots, one of which resulting in a goal. But Ella Grant, of course, being down 0-4, it might not seem like it, but she has had some miraculous saves here in this game.
And maybe the play not entirely ready to be set up yet. Beavers just still trying to get their people down the field. So they'll reset the penalty corner. This one's passed to the middle for Perkins. Perkins gets it to Bouchard. Bouchard finds it inside, and what a pass inside for the Eagles. And that one's Tillotson again, Sam.
Wow, what a double deke right there from the Eagles. I mean, a beautiful pass right between the defenders, and Tillotson, a hat trick early on in the second period, and we still got 10-14 left to play in this second period. And of course, the Eagles now seeing a lot of what we saw in that first game, just building up that score and seeing a lot more aggressiveness on the offensive end.
Bouchard could not have placed that pass more perfectly for Tillotson. I don't even think Ella Grant, the goalkeeper, saw Tillotson waiting on the other side. That was probably the easiest goal she'll have in her life.
Yeah, I mean, Grant definitely had Bouchard. That's one thing about Bouchard that really stands out about her game. She attracted defenders right to her. Grant had her entire attention on Bouchard, just going right to the goal. And Bouchard with a beautiful pass to Tillotson. And the Eagles now are rolling on offense.
Bouchard gets it up to Capazzoli. Capazzoli centers. This one for Perkins. And another shot. That one bounces off the goaltender's pads. Go out of bounds. That'll be reset up at the top for the Eagles on the 25-yard line.
That was Capazzoli's sixth shot already on the game. She has been ultra aggressive. Excuse me, her seventh shot on the game. Yeah, very ultra aggressive has she been, of course, the leading goal getter for the Eagles here. And the Eagles now really just controlling the pace on both sides of the field. And Farmington here needs to just find some window of opportunity to break through this Eagles defense and put some points on the board.
This one has a chance of going back the other way. Might have been kicked, was not seen. Here's Vincentson. Vincentson able to get it up for DeRosby. And eventually taken away by the Eagles. The transition defense for this Eagles team has just been outstanding today, Sam. We've had maybe a minute or 2 minutes where the Beavers have had it inside their offensive zone, or really their half of the field. Other than that, Eagles have had possession the entire time. Storming down the field now is Perkins before it's broken up.
He's got a foul on the play right there. That was Capano who just checked back into the game. And Eagles will reset near the top of the shooting circle.
Penalty corner coming up. They have also been very, very good at drawing penalties so far this year. If we take a look at it, 181 penalty corner attempts this season for the Eagles. Here's Perkins up top. She'll just go for the shot and gets it right past the goaltender. Maddie Perkins with an absolute laser of a shot.
Wow, what a beautiful shot right there from Maddie Perkins. Wasted no time at all. Just lined it up, let it fly, and just sniped it right through the goal. And the Eagles now really just finding their mojo on offense. And the Beavers now really they haven't really been able to figure them out on the defensive side of the ball. And now is where you really need to just step things up and try to get some points on the board. But the Eagles, Max, are absolutely rolling right now.
Maddie Perkins adds her 11th goal to this very decorated season that she's having in her junior year. Has certainly been one of the better players for this Eagles squad. We mentioned double digits in both goals and assists. She this time gets it up to Madison Willie. And it's picked off by Vincentson. Sorry, that's Bliss with the defensive play. Ramsdale now has it on the near sideline. It will roll out of bounds, but I believe it was off the stick of Bliss, so it stays with the Eagles.
Yeah, Madison Willie seeing some action here. The freshman out of White River, Vermont, really just...
That was an incredibly close shot there by number 14, Kyla Havey. And 3 shots there for Madison Willie. The third one goes in. And the Eagles are just running away with this one. 7-0, Sam, after only scoring 2 goals in the first quarter.
Yep, that was Havey right there, getting the ball in. Couldn't really tell, all the body just swarming that shooting circle. Once again, making a nice move to the middle and just getting it past Grant in the goal. Yeah, it's looking a lot more like that first game that we saw. Once the Eagles kind of found their offensive stride, the Beavers have been out of sorts defensively. So right now would be a good opportunity just to try to keep the ball on their side of the field and not allow the Eagles to get some momentum here. Of course, easier said than done with how the score is right now. But, of course, playoff game, anything can happen.
Exactly right. That has proven difficult for this Beaver squad. Not really able to get much time on their offensive side of the field. They might have a chance here as Howes looks for Vincentson. Vincentson looking to make a move. Howes able there to back it up. Casavant tries to get there as well as Winship. Just trying very hard to keep that in the offensive zone. But the Eagles are going to successfully clear it out and look to set up their next possession.
Yeah, they got to give a lot of credit to Leah Pouchard on the play, really coming in and stopping the momentum of Vincentson, just knocking it away. And as a result, the Eagles, well, once again, have an opportunity to get the ball back here. So it looks like made it a little out of bounds play. We'll stay with and we'll go back to the Beavers.
Yeah, I think Maddie Perkins was looking for someone across the field and just hit it a little bit too hard. Rolled out of bounds. Back up the far sideline it goes, and it was last touched by an Eagles defender. Now it'll be interesting to see what their game plan here is as it gets taken away. A little bit of flip-flopping of possessions these last couple minutes. That one hit all the way up the field. Levesque is going to see her first action. Can't take a shot from outside the shooting zone, so that does not count even though it went into the goal.
That would have been really impressive had it did count. I mean, sniping it from that far away would have been absolutely tremendous. But as you said, does not count since they are not inside the shooting circle. And the Beavers now will get it with a chance to reset.
But sending it that far up the field does give the Beavers an opportunity to play defense. Eagles just so good at getting through that transition. That one's picked off by Bliss and sent up the field for Adams. Adams now has to play defense. Does so successfully before it's taken away again by Ross.
Ross really established herself as one of the more premier versatile forwards or midfielders here for the Eagles. 1 goal in the year, 2 points, 3 shots, 3 shots on goal. Has started all 15 games for the Eagles. Has been kind of the old faithful that the Eagles can count on both sides of the field.
And you know what, Sam? I really wish that they would show defensive stats for field hockey. They don't really do a lot of that other than defensive saves. Because if that were the case, Abby Ross would have a lot more stats to talk about. But they don't really keep track of a lot of defensive stats. It's kind of a difficult thing to do in field hockey. Nonetheless, she has been very good for the Eagles this season. Gracie Gardner seeing some minutes here in this second quarter. That one's taken away by DeRoseby. DeRoseby somehow able to get it through to Vincentson between the legs. Vincentson now has that one cut off and sent up the field. That one's going to be ruled out of bounds. The ball can go over the line, but as soon as it's on the line and touched by somebody, it is officially out of bounds. So Eagles will take it back. Bliss will inbound. That one's corralled by DeRoseby. DeRoseby now being pushed down into that corner. She'll have to try and find somebody. This is the closest they've been to the shooting circle all game. DeRoseby gets it to Vincentson. Vincentson now officially inside the shooting circle. Vincentson had an opportunity there. Levesque makes the save, but a penalty corner opportunity coming up for the Beavers.
And that's just what the doctor ordered if you are the Beavers. When all else fails, try to find your best player in Gabby Vincentson to just make things happen for your team. And as a result, since with the penalty corner opportunity, a little surprised here to see Vincentson taking it out here for the Beavers in the penalty corner opportunities, knowing that she is one of their, if not their leading scorer for this team. But we'll see what the Beavers have lined up here.
Potentially trying to get her a little bit closer to the net. She could inbound the ball and get up near the goal. That might be the play here, but we'll find out here momentarily. I think officials still trying to get everything figured out. And the play is underway. That one's sent up to Bliss. Bliss passes it to the right, but it has it picked off. Still a scram for the ball. Cassavant able to help save that one, and that one's going to be sent up the field.
Yeah, who else but Maddie Perkins putting her paw prints all over this game. Really just everywhere on the field. Whatever you need her to do, she will do it. She will do it with 110% and just does it with unwavering ferocity.
It was Havey that got it down the field for the Eagles there. We'll see what the Eagles draw up on this possession. This one's thrown inside of the middle. And Bliss trying to make a play on it. Here's Gardner. And eventually cleared out by Cassavant.
Good defensive stance right there from the Beaver, just not allowing the Eagles to get too comfortable on offense yet. As you said, Havey really pushing the pace up the field for the Eagles, but the Beavers really standing strong on that end.
DeRoseby tries to get the pass to number 22, Nadeau, but unable to do that cleanly, but they draw a penalty. That one's sent up. It'll go the Eagles' way. And the Beavers will just fall back on defense. Kind of an interesting attack there. You feel like down 7-0. You're going to be playing some very aggressive defense. They will now. This one's going to be taken up the far sideline. Played well on defense by Kendall. Eagles kind of throwing in some of the non-traditional starters into this lineup for this possession. Centering pass, and my goodness!
Oh, man.
I'm not sure that one's not going to count. Oh, my goodness. I believe that was Perkins with a slap shot, basically no angle. Wow, must have just been just outside the shooting circle. Perkins again, though, with the ball. A kind of reverse shot there, goes out of bounds. Could you have imagined if that one counted? That would be Sports Center top 10 worthy.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible by Perkins. I mean, you can't expect anything less from Perkins, who's really just been the go-to woman here for the Eagles all year. She's really just had her paw prints in every game that she's involved, whether she's scoring or not. She's just always involved. And that shot right there, despite the fact that they're not counted, was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen since I started calling field hockey.
Perkins' accuracy has been something to talk about too. Very accurate with the stick, and it's not easy. I've never personally picked up a field hockey stick, but if you take a look at it, there isn't a lot of space to really hit the ball, or really the stick is not very big. So when you go to hit the ball, you could hit it anywhere, and it will fly in all sorts of directions. You see it even from some of the players who play for this Eagles squad, but Perkins just has a nick for the accuracy side of things in this sport.
Yeah, and it really just goes to show, like as you said, really opens up the beauty of field hockey, and it shows that, as you said, it's not as easy as it looks just taking the stick, especially since you only have to hit it with the flat side of the stick. You can't use both sides. So that makes it much more impressive when we see players like Perkins really just doing the things that she does.
And so a penalty on the Eagles results in an opportunity for the Beavers, but once again picked off right away. A little bit of contest, and that'll take us to the end of the first half, Sam. We saw, really, at the first quarter, it looked like it could be a very competitive game. Eagles were only up 2-0 at the end of the first, but since then, 5 more goals get tallied on for this Eagles squad, and the Beavers find themselves down 7-0.
Yeah, and it really just goes to show that the Eagles can just turn on that switch at the snap of the fingers. As soon as they just get 1 goal, 2 goals, doesn't matter what it is, when they turn that switch on, it's very hard for any team to beat them. And as a result, we found 5 goals in that second period, and 3 of which coming from Faith Tillotson. So we'll see what the Beavers can do here to kind of mount some sort of a comeback.
Tillotson had a heck of a quarter and really has had a great game so far, 3 goals. And Maddie Perkins adds 1 to that, as well as Tessa Capizzoli. We're going to go ahead and take a break here for halftime. Make sure not to go anywhere. We will be back in roughly 10 minutes on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Second half action of this field hockey game between the UMaine Farmington Beavers and the Husson University Eagles is just about here. We'll go into a little bit of the stats from from the first half of this game, Sam.
Alrighty, so what we got, of course, the 7 goals scored by Husson, and all those goals have been assisted on by one player or another throughout this game. But the big thing has been, the two big things rather, has been the shots and the shots on goal. 31 shots for the Eagles, 19 shots on goal for the Eagles, 0 in both categories for the Beavers. That just kind of shows the kind of game that the Eagles are playing and the aggressiveness that they've been playing with throughout this game. And as well as that, the corner opportunities were there a lot more for the Eagles throughout this game. That's what's kind of helped them keep the ball on their side of the field. So we can definitely expect the Eagles to come out and be just as aggressive as they were in that first half.
Time of possession also, I think, is a huge factor in this game. I mean, only, one penalty corner opportunity and 0 actual shot attempts by the Beavers in that first half. They have certainly struggled on offense similarly to last week, but they are down less at halftime than they were in that last game. Back in action now. Teams have switched sides, so it'll be the Beavers heading down to your right as Vincentson sends it up, but it's blocked very well by Jasmine Johnson, the sophomore.
Johnson saw a little bit of action here towards the end of that first half as we see Coach Doloff really just trusting her and just seeing that the game is not very close right now and just trying some new things out there.
Capizzoli now on a run. Centers, and that one's cleared out. Very well done, but Bouchard gets a hold of it again. She'll take the shot. That one not on goal. I think that was Allie Bliss does a good job corralling that one, keeping it out of the shooting box.
Yeah, Bliss right there, really just a nice defensive play to keep that away from the shooting circle. And going back to some of those first half stats, those corner opportunities we talked about, 9 for the Eagles, only 1 for the Beavers. It really just goes to show how aggressive the Eagles have been and that the Beavers, as a result, have not been able to really keep up so far, as well as the Eagles have not faced a shot on goal at all this game. Again, really just goes to show the tenacity of the defense.
Now right down in front of the goaltender goes that one, and once again the Beavers able to clear it out. Vincentson goes for the slap clear, unable to make that work. Sorry, that's Cassavant. And that would have been a huge clear if they were able to make that one work, but just didn't get the right angle on the stick. And a foul by Jasmine Johnson will give the Beavers a little bit of room to operate here. But that one cleanly picked off. And heading back down into the zone. No one there to corral it on the near side of this field. And DeRoseby will let that one just go out of bounds, so it'll be Leah Pouchard inbounding here for the Eagles. And a clean pick by Nadeau. But once again, a foul will reset it. Pouchard will take it once again.
Both teams evenly notched with fouls right here throughout the game. That one taken by Isabel DeRoseby on the play. A little bit too much contact. And let's see what the Beavers can do to just maybe get their ball on their offensive side of the field, not allow the Eagles any chances for some sort of fast break opportunities or any chances. Well, right on cue as the Eagles get it right back.
Paris Howe is unable to turn the corner there. And that one sent into the middle. A nice pass there for Capizzoli. And that one almost goes in. A bounce off the goaltender's pads, went almost straight up into the air and rolls just wide of the net.
Yeah, Capizzoli with a beautiful pass on the play right there. Tried to set up a teammate for the goal. Looks like that was Kitchen once again, just trying to get that goal. But Capizzoli looked like she was going to do it herself, but flipped it back to Kitchen. The Kitchen unable to convert.
Bouchard sends this one into the middle. Up for grabs, and then Capizzoli off the goaltender, Ella Grant. A ricochet shot. And that might have actually, I think Capizzoli got it, and it ricocheted off of Maddie Arsenal, who comes away with the goal.
Yeah, that was a incredible play right there from Capizzoli. She'll get credited with the assist on the play. But Arsenal, Capizzoli just tried to line that shot up, Arsenal, right place, right time, and the Eagles now is continuing to balloon their lead.
And it looked like Ella Grant really was the one who hit it, put a leg out to try and make that pad save, but was unable to, as Arsenal was there to hit the ball and put it in the back of the net. Eagles up 8-0 now, early on in the second half.
It's just been that kind of game for the Beavers where it just seems like where they have some good things going. I mean, their defense has been playing pretty all right for the most part up until that second period, just kind of letting up those 5 goals. But they've remained aggressive nonetheless. That one play, though, just kind of sums up their evening so far.
So it'll be a penalty corner opportunity for the Eagles. This their 10th of the game.
Notice how they have Kitchen inserting it now. It looks like they're going to make a switch. That'll be Louder. Louder going to get some action there. Normally it's Tillotson that sees the penalty corner opportunity here. Let's see what she can do.
This one's sent up top. Johnson tries to make a move, but it's played well by Elizabeth Kendall. Now DeRoseby trying to make something happen. Gets it to Vincentson. You don't want it in anybody else's stick but Vincentson heading up the side of the sideline there. That one smartly just allowed to be played out of bounds.
Looks like Vincent wanted to slap that one a little bit farther up the field. Just did not get full contact with the ball. Nonetheless, it'll stay here with the Beavers.
And that one is going to go the other direction. Nadeau unable to get to it. This one's inserted by Bouchard. Elizabeth Kendall able to come away with it. A good pass to Nadeau there, but now forced up against the sideline. Just has to send it forward. I guess it would make sense that this style of play kind of is similar to ice hockey, where if you really don't have anything open, you kind of just send it down the sideline and hope for the best.
And if you're a team like the Beavers, those opportunities are very few and far between, of course. Your defense has been kind of just staying strong for the most part. What you really want to do is just find those opportunities in those long shots up the sideline and just kind of capitalize on those.
Capizzoli was on a run there before being stopped, but was fouled inside the shooting circle. So once again, a penalty corner opportunity coming up for the Eagles.
Yeah, just in that short time we were talking about moving the ball up the sideline, Capizzoli just took off, speeding right down the field. It sets up another penalty corner opportunity for the Eagles.
And the Eagles have some speed, don't they? Capizzoli, Tillotson, Maddie Perkins, all very shifty and fast players for this Eagles squad.
Corner attempt number 11 for the Eagles.
This one's centered for Bouchard and then sent out into the right side, and a good save there by Ella Grant. So they'll try and clear again here. Here's House. The Eagles have done a good job pressuring House to that far sideline and forcing turnovers. Eagles again back in the shooting area. Capizzoli trying to make something happen. Clears it a little bit out of the zone. I think that comes off the pads of Ella Grant again. And we are setting up for yet another penalty corner.
You got to give credit to Grant for holding her ground on that play. Capizzoli had yet another shot on the goal. I think she's had the most throughout the game for the Eagles so far. They've been keeping Grant on her toes. As a result, it'll be Louder with the in-serve again for the Eagles with corner attempt number 12 in the game.
So it'll be shipped out to the center there. Capizzoli unable to corral, but once again retained. And that's Elizabeth Kendall. Very good job intercepting that pass and stopping the corner opportunity.
Kendall playing really good individual defense throughout this game. We've seen, of course, the Beavers down big right now, but Kendall's defense should not be overlooked. Every person she has guarded on the field has not been having a very good time with her right on their hip.
Vincent was on an island there with Hope Bouchard. Bouchard is able to come away with it. This one sent down in the corner for Madison Willie. Capizzoli corrals. Now in the far corner for the Eagles. Centering pass might be perfect. Shot a little bit too soon for the Eagles.
think that was Kitchen right there trying to set up the opportunity on the goal. And boy, that would have been a very fantastic play had the Eagles were able to pull that one off.
I believe they were looking for Arsenal, who had the last goal in this game to put the Eagles up 8-0. And carrying it on the stick. Trying to tell who that was. That is a very difficult play to make. Corner coming up for the Eagles.
So that was Ramsdale who was kind of carrying it on her stick on that play. And as a result, it'll set up yet another penalty corner opportunity for the Eagles.
I think it's probably pretty hard to even move the ball with just a stick on the ground, let alone to put it up in the air. That's pretty incredible. Here's Capizzoli, ships it to Bouchard, who takes the shot, goes just wide of the net.
Nice little setup there from Capizzoli. Bouchard had the angle, and it looked like she was primed to just swing that one right in. Just a bit too far wide, and the Eagles will regain possession.
The Beavers doing a really good job defending these corners today. There's a missed shot, and then finally centered. Capizzoli going to try and make something happen, but it's forced out of bounds with help from number 11, Emma Willie.
The individual defense from the Beavers has been relatively strong throughout this game. The team defense has struggled mightily when trying to just contain as a whole, but give a lot of credit to Emma Willie and Elizabeth Kendall for holding their own on defense and not making things easy for the Eagles.
And so now, up near the 50-yard line, the Beavers will take control. We'll see if they're able to get it down into the offensive zone. This one's given it to Roseby, who just has to ship it up the middle there. It'll just be, I believe, maybe a foul on DeRoseby. And a hard shot from Bouchard hits DeRoseby. So that one will go back the other way.
I don't care who you are. A ball hitting you like that at that speed, it's got to hurt every single time. It's going to be painful for anybody.
And a lacrosse ball is very solid too, but a field hockey ball is even more solid, and it's a bigger ball too. So when it hits you, you definitely feel it.
And that goes to show the toughness of these players out here. Of course, DeRoseby, who got hit with the ball, just seemed to just shake it off immediately. This goes to show that even though the Beavers are down, they are definitely not out.
Now it's Havey trying to get a head start here. Multiple penalties fly for both teams. Howes will take it now.
The fouls have been kind of a story. Both teams nearly even. Farmington with one more foul than Husson so far. It just goes to show the aggressiveness and the scrappiness that this game has held.
Eagles taking it up the far side, or the close sideline rather, and a collision. My goodness, you never like to see that, Sam.
Yeah, it looked like it was Bouchard just kind of moving it up the field. And then it was Willie and another player who really just met each other right into the left-hand side of the shooting circle.
We'll go ahead and cut this to break. We'll be back here soon on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm alongside Sam Miller. Back from that little injury break, it was Haley Capano and Emma Willie getting together on a collision, trying to track down Hope Bouchard, who had a run to the net there. We're glad to see that both of them are okay and able to get to the sideline on their own, but certainly a scary scene.
Yeah, nothing that anybody wants to see, regardless of who you are a fan of. Injuries like that are scary, regardless of your team. Of course, Capano and Willie, as Max mentioned, just trying to slow down Bouchard on the play and just collided with each other in the left-hand side of the shooting circle. Nice to see them both walking under their own power, and glad that it's nothing too serious to look out for.
It's always very scary when you see someone go down and not get up right away. Especially us as broadcasters, very scary seeing it all unfold and how it unfolded. Hopefully the collision wasn't too bad and that they'll both be okay and ready to get back into this game, as we're just about 5 minutes left in this third quarter. Eagles up 8-0, have a very comfortable lead. Just trying to hold on to it at this point.
Looks like Capano will stay out there on the field, but replacing Willie is number 19, Lindsay Boyvert, who has not had too much time throughout the season for the Beavers. So let's see what kind of difference her presence will make on the field.
This one's given to Howes. Tries to make something of it. The foul will give it back to the Eagles. Bouchard ships it out to Ramsdell on the far sideline. Just trying to center it, but Eagles do a good job drawing a penalty in the shooting zone, and they'll have another penalty corner coming up.
It's just been the story of the game here for Farmington, just not really able to just clean up their play, and as a result, that'll be penalty quarter number 14 for the Eagles, and we'll set up another opportunity here.
This one's inserted to the middle. Looks like Perkins with a very high velocity shot. And saved and cleared out by the Beavers.
Yeah, great defensive stand right there for the Beavers. It seemed like Perkins had another great shot opportunity there at the top of the shooting circle, but the Beavers defense able to stand strong in that last one.
Fight for it inside the shooting circle now. No team able to get a clean stick on it. And now Grace Gardner able to kind of lob it up. She'll get an opportunity here, just wide of the net though. And Ella Grant was there to save it had it come a little bit closer to being on goal.
Yeah, good tough play there from Grant just to keep it in front. And again, Elise Nadeau really interrupting the shot of Gracie Gardner on the play, really making it tough for that shot.
And a good defensive play there by Havey. She'll center it inside. And finally cleared back out. Looks like we're going to have another penalty corner, though. And you can talk about teams, penalizing or being penalized a lot. But really what I've seen through the season, doing a few games, but also looking into statistics and stuff, the Eagles are just so good at drawing contact inside the shooting box.
It's a testament to how aggressive they play all the time. They're always going in there, just marching right into the center of the shooting circle. Looks like we have another goal on the play right there. And right on cue, the Eagles score once again as Kyla Havey, that's her second goal of the game, and the Eagles now another chance with just another opportunity to put points on the board.
Kyla Havey doubling her season total in goals in this game, up to 4 on the season now. The junior out of Freepoint, Maine, doing her due diligence out there today. And I think the Eagles are really just going for pretty much all their players, giving everybody an opportunity. And Havey, who sees playing time here and there as more of like a second half player, has really put her stamp on this one.
Yeah, I mean, and as we were talking about before the goal happened, that's just kind of what the Eagles do. They go in, they just go on their offensive side of the ball and are as aggressive as they can be. They go right to the middle of the shooting circle, what seems like every time, and setting up those nice little shots. And as a result, they got the penalty corner opportunity and resulted in Kyla Havey's second goal of the game.
Havey, a sneaky good player on defense, too. You saw her set up that penalty corner opportunity by taking the ball away. Now Ramsdell is streaming up the field. Eagles right back where they were just moments ago. Bouchard's going to hold on to it now. Try and clear it back outside. Makes a nice move around a few defenders. Bouchard gets it down low. Now just looking for an opportunity here. And that one will hit the side of the net and go out of bounds.
Yeah, great, great transition play right there for the Eagles. Just nice and flowing like the Kentucky River, just really just making things happen on the defensive side of the ball. As yet we have another penalty corner opportunity for Husson.
Eagles on the penalty corners really like to go to that center player right at the top of that shooting key and then dip it out to one of the sides. See what they decide to do here. Ramsdell gets it to Havey, or Perkins rather. And that one kind of just rolls in. That one comes off of Madison Willie's stick there. Wow, that was a slow roller into the net. Not sure that Ella Grant even saw that one coming.
Yeah, I mean, Willie just really tapped that one in, and it really was set up by the pass right there of the checked-in Elisa Picarello, who really just kind of tapped that near the middle, and then Willie just right place, right time, scooted that one in, and the Eagles now in double-digit goals with just under 2 minutes left to play here in the third period.
Up 10-0, Eagles closing in on playing on Sunday. They win this game, moving on in the playoffs. And for a team that really had a lot of ups and downs this year, they started the season off very strong and then went on a long road streak where they dropped a couple games. This one, great save there by Grant.
See some of the new faces in for the Eagles now. Checking in is number 3, Brianna Smith, the freshman out of Pitsen. Really just, it seems like Coach Doloff is getting really into her bench here, getting everybody ready for playoff action.
Well, and why not get everybody involved? You never know when you're going to need those bench players, or if someone gets tired, you need to put them in. Just getting the experience, having every player on your team with that experience is super important to not only building the chemistry, but also building your team up.
Absolutely. I mean, you want to be as ready as possible come playoff time, of course. In the playoffs, the teams just get more difficult and more difficult as you progress throughout. So making sure everybody is top-notch and ready to go is absolutely crucial. And it looks like so far the Eagles have not skipped a beat, whether it's you're coming off the bench or you're starting. Everybody just really pulling their weight.
And Perkins almost able to make something happen as we close in on the end of this third quarter. Just 10 seconds remaining. See if they get a quick shot off here.
Ramsdell looking to push the pace with just under 10 left to play.
And the time will run out on the third quarter. Fourth quarter of action coming up when we return on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Sam Miller. Fourth quarter of action coming up here. Final 15 minutes of this one. Eagles up 10-0. And it has definitely been a lopsided game for the Eagles, as we saw just 1 week ago. Very similar outing as the Eagles came away with a 13-0 win. And Sam, Eagles are looking ahead now to Sunday, where they will play at Thomas in the Central Maine Championship.
And that's going to be a very, very solid game. I mean, I was fortunate enough to call the Eagles' last matchup against Thomas. The game was close up until the last quarter of action, where Thomas eventually came away with a 2-goal victory. But it goes to show just how incredible both those teams are at what they do. Both play so similar. Doing the statistics for that game, doing the prep work, I was really stunned to find that they were almost identical in all their major stats. So it'll be interesting to see how both those teams match up this for a second time. But once again, as we talked about, playoff atmosphere, stakes are a little bit higher, losses are a little bit tougher to swallow, and I'm sure we're in for a treat on Sunday.
And the Beavers did come out honestly playing a lot better than they did in their last game. The score is not going to reflect that, but they did come out into this game ultra aggressive, held the Eagles to only 2 goals in that first quarter, as opposed to last week, where they allowed 4 in the first and then kind of just let them pile on and on and on. But their defense has always been solid. It's just they spend so much time down in their own defensive zone that you can only stop so many shots from going in, especially against the Eagles and the players that they have.
Yeah, and it's hard to stop. If you're any team, it's hard to stop the Eagles when they're rolling like they have been. And as you say, really good credit to the Beavers defense. First period of action, they were holding very strong. The Eagles only had a 2-goal lead. It was later on in that second period where things just completely fell apart for them. The Eagles really found their stride, were able to tack on 5 more goals, and it's been super one-sided since then. I mean, of course, crazier things have happened in sports, so we'll see what the Beavers can mount here. But it just seems like since that Eagles rally in the second period, the Beavers have not been able to find any rhythm, and it's shown throughout this game.
Here's Bouchard now making some moves inside and outside, able to get it down to the end line before drawing a penalty and another corner coming up for the Eagles.
That's really just what's been killing the Beavers today. That's opportunity number 16 for the Eagles today on those penalty corners. It looks like Ruby Kitchen now will get a chance to serve it in for the Eagles.
We'll see what they decide to do this time. A lot of different personnel in now, like we talked about at the end of the last quarter, really just trying to get that experience for everybody. This one's sent to Bouchard, who's just going to rip it, and it hits off of a Beavers defender. Now the Beavers have an opportunity to get it down on a fast break. Looking for Vincentson, who's able to get a stick on it. Some action down on this side of the field now, something we have not seen a lot of. Vincentson has a shot blocked there. And a penalty corner coming up for the Beavers, their second of this game.
That all started with the play by Allie Bliss down the other side of the field. Really just set things up for Vincentson to make a move down towards the Eagles side of the ball. And now the Beavers with a prime opportunity to score their first goal of this game.
Bliss, the senior defender out of Underhill, Vermont, and the team captain for this Beavers team. He's really done a good job down on the defensive end, has had a few really good defensive plays in this one. So this one's sent up to Bliss. Bliss gets it to Vincentson, and a crosser for Nadeau. And they'll say it was a foul on a Beavers player and a missed opportunity again.
Yeah, it would have been a great opportunity for Nadeau just to get that ball in. Again, those fouls really just costing the Beavers now. That puts them at 39 fouls on the game. It's really been one of the reasons why they have not been able to find any sort of mojo. And the Eagles now really moving it up the field.
You just wonder what the outcome of this game would be if they could possess down in the offensive zone a little bit longer, because their defense, despite the score, has been outstanding. They have made a lot of really good stops down in their own end. They just haven't been able to transition well, and that was the same thing as last week.
And there's that old saying in sports, good defense leads to good offense. And as you said, Max, I mean, really not many opportunities for the Beavers to find anything going for them on the offensive side of the ball. Again, that's a lot of it is credited to the excellent defense played by the Eagles throughout this game, and then them really being able to halt any sort of opportunities. But if you're the Beavers, it's just those opportunities really come few and far between. So you really got to find a way to get those goals and capitalize on opportunities like that.
Beavers doing a little bit of a better job on transition defense here. Taking a little bit for the Eagles to get back down into their offensive zone. A lot of good double teams being played off here as the Eagles finally able to possess. They'll take it down to the end line. A good pass to the middle of the field. And up for grabs. And that one's going to count. Wow, what a goal there. I thought they had called the play dead.
That was Ruby Kitchen on the goal there. It all started with Capizoli really just working it around, just really took control of the ball herself, found a nice little crease in the shooting circle, and eventually Kitchen was at the right place, right time, was batted away by a defender, and Kitchen just floated that one up, and the Eagles have scored 11 now on the game.
One of the odder goals I've seen in this one. There was no reaction really from anyone on the field, especially the goaltender. I don't even think Ella Grant saw that one go up into the air, so I wasn't even sure that they were counting it or if they were calling a penalty corner. But nonetheless, Eagles up 11-0 here. 10:30 left in this one.
Sunshine in their eyes up here makes it a little bit difficult for us to see those green numbers on the black jerseys for the Eagles. So a little bit of delayed reaction from us on the goal, but nonetheless, it will get credited to Ruby Kitchen, who's having herself, again, a very, very good game and adds to her growing campaign here at Husson.
And those jerseys, even without the sun, the contrast is so hard with the dark green on the black, but they are very sporty jerseys. They are very cool when you get to see them up close, but from a distance. Definitely very hard as a broadcaster to see the number perfectly every time, especially the single-digit numbers.
No kidding, but nonetheless, whoever makes the jerseys for Husson University, I mean, we got to give them a raise. These jerseys are absolutely phenomenal. As it looks, we're going to foul on the play on the Eagles.
So another offensive opportunity for the Beavers here, something that has come far and few. And a little bit too much of a jump there for Tillotson on defense, but nonetheless, it's going to end up back with the Eagles. Shot up the field and played well by Kendall, but then taken away by Capizoli. Capizoli looking for a teammate. And penalty on Jasmine Johnson results on the Beavers getting the ball back. Here's Vincentson. Gets tripped up. So that'll be a foul on the Eagles. They'll kind of get a little bit of room to operate here.
Beavers with a chance to reset. Yeah, once again, Vincentson taking it in herself, just trying to find some sort of transition play for the Beavers. Results in a foul on the Eagles, and the Beavers have a chance yet again.
Vincent gets it to the Roseby. That'll bounce off a few feet, and a penalty corner coming up for the Beavers.
Just what you want to see when you're in this game. I mean, 8 minutes left, down 11-0. A comeback would be pretty hard to mount if you're the Beavers. They're getting a goal right here. Could boost the morale. And like we said, there have been some crazier things to happen in sports. So let's see what this penalty corner leads to for the Beavers.
Well, in reality, Sam, this is the last time that everyone who is together on this field for the Beavers squad will play all together. So just really trying to, like you said, boost that morale. But also get your less experienced players involved as well, see what they can do. Really just get everyone out there, try to enjoy the last 10 minutes of this game. As a shot there, pretty high velocity. A good shot there, trying to see who that is. That might have been.
Looks like that was Elizabeth Kendall on the shot right there.
Known for her defense, comes up and absolutely sends one towards the net just a little bit wide.
Yeah, really rocketed that ball right towards the goal. But going back to Farmington, and of course, a team being as young as you are, this is really kind of a feel-out process to see where things are going to be going towards the future. Having a team like this gives you a general idea as to what your team is going to be like, and notice some things that work really well and some things you need to improve on. Of course, you got players coming in more experienced next year. You'll have new up-and-coming freshmen who will be ready and hungry to play.
Perkins able to get it up. Almost able to make something of it. It looked like Perkins and Tillison had an opportunity right there. Perkins just stormed through every single one of the defenders all by herself, coast to coast.
That's what she gives you as a player, but really just can do it all on the field. And just as the Eagles, once again, another opportunity to put things in the goal. But yeah, that would have been probably the goal of the day had that one worked out for the Eagles.
That was quite the sequence there from Maddie Perkins. But really, we shouldn't be too surprised with the season she's had, and also just we know her style of play. She's very good at finding a way through defenders. Back in the Beavers' offensive zone now. Eagles are going to try and clear this one out, but being forced to the sideline is number 6, Mary Hamlin, who is seeing some action late in this game. Right in front of the net now, no one there. Shot opportunity goes off the left side of the net.
Boy, what a big opportunity missed there by the Beavers. It looks like Paris Howes was going to come right across the middle. The pass it looks like she didn't know when the pass was coming and cut a little bit too late. That would have been a prime time opportunity for the Beavers to get a goal here.
It's hard when you don't have a lot of experience down in the offensive zone in this game. You're really seeing action down there for the first few times here in this one, so you're not really warmed up down there. A lot of teams will get warmed up by the first or second quarter, but just the Beavers unable to really transition the ball well throughout this game, and so when they get those opportunities down there, they're still kind of feeling out what they have to do, feeling out the Eagles' defense.
Got to give a lot of credit to the Beavers, though, throughout this game. Despite the fact that they are down so much, they have been relentless on both sides of the ball, regardless of the score. We see in our stands here, we have quite a few Farmington spectators here coming to support their team. A lot of Believe in the Beeve hoodies here. Really nice to see their team, their support for their team show out in a playoff game like this.
This is Jasmine Johnson with a great centering pass. And that one played well and then eventually scored.
That looks like it was Eliza Picarello on the play.
That is Alyssa Picarello getting her second goal of the season. Picarello has only appeared in 8 games so far this year as a sophomore, but nets one here late in the 4th to put the Eagles up 12-0.
Yeah, once again, the Eagles just showcasing how deep they are as a team. That's another player getting on the board in this ball game. It just goes to show how dangerous this Eagles team can be and how many weapons they will have if they want to make a deep playoff push.
And if you're the Eagles, you're going to end up losing your senior players after this year, unless, of course, they are graduate students and come back, have a 5th year of eligibility. But you've got to also be super hopeful of what is to come in the future, just based off of the depth that this team has in both freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah, it really just goes to show how this team will be built upon and what good hands this program will be once all those seniors eventually graduate and move on and pursue anything else.
Madison Willie has the ball taken away. That time it's Allie Bliss, the senior captain. It's cleared down into the offensive zone. We'll see if the Beavers are able to provide enough pressure to keep it down there. And they're certainly doing their best. Vincentson had it for a second, will reclaim it. Just shoots it up the field, but played well by an Eagles defender. And eventually a foul will send it the Beavers' way.
That was on Louder on the play, just trying to get back for the Eagles. Kind of got Vincentson with a bit too much contact there.
Here's Howes with an opportunity. And that one's blocked, but a penalty corner coming up foul inside the shooting box gives the Beavers an opportunity once again down here in the offensive zone.
And that's the Beavers' only their third shot for the game today. It really just goes to show how stellar this Eagles defense has been. But the Beavers now, in this fourth quarter, a lot more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. As you mentioned, Max, we really don't see a lot of them on the offensive side as opposed, at least in this game, again, thanks to the Eagles defense. But it just seems like they really picked up the intensity as this clock continues to tick.
See what they're able to make of this one. That one's given to Bliss. Bliss gets it to Elizabeth Kendall, and then it's eventually taken away by Bouchard and sent up. Here's an opportunity now. On the run is Brianna Smith. A good poke there and eventually picked back up. Looking for Smith again, and that was just a good defensive play.
Whoa. Now Madison Willie right there just almost with a snipe from near the right-hand side of the shooter circle. Just let that one rip.
And still, with only 3 minutes left in this one, the Eagles being ultra aggressive, just trying to get as many goals as they can. Here's Gracie Gardner now, set up at the top of the key. This one will be sent up the field, but played by Vincentson. Vincentson and DeRoseby have really been the two ball carriers for this team today when they do get on offense.
And look at the freshman Chelsea Curtis really giving the Beavers a lot of work on the defensive side of the ball.
So back down here, the Eagles will have to try and clear now a situation that really haven't had a lot of time in. Gracie Gardner splits defenders before having Vincentson break that one up. It'll end up back in the stick of Vincentson, or of Gardner rather. And a clear trip and penalty on the Eagles will result in the Beavers getting the ball back here. Picked off right away. That's Brianna Smith. Down into the zone. And played well. Here's Kendall now, trying to make her way back up the field.
That was Allie Bliss once again with a beautiful defensive stop for the Beavers. She's had a couple of those in this game. Just what could have been very easy goals for the Eagles. Bliss was right there to save the day.
Brianna Smith has it again. That time broken up. Here's Kendall. Vincentson now, after the penalty, shoots it to the middle. Here's an opportunity, and it's missed by Howes. Able to corral. Penalty corner coming up for the Beavers. They've done a good job when they're down in their end, also drawing those penalties.
Absolutely. I mean, that was almost a very, it could have been a very, very bad play as Howes had a nice-looking shot towards the center. Nonetheless, they kept their composure, and as a result, this will be their fourth penalty corner on the game.
They've had a little bit of a different approach every time so far on these penalty corners. We'll see what they decide to go with here, waiting for the Eagles to be fully set up. This one to Bliss. Bliss kind of just gets the shot off. That one rolls out. So Eagles once again defend the penalty corner, but it'll still be the Beavers' ball as it rolled out of bounds off of an Eagles player.
Yeah, that was Ho Bouchard breaking up that play there by Howes, just trying to make sure that that ball just didn't get anywhere near the goal.
Eagles 30 seconds away from a shutout and going to the Central Maine Championship down in Thomas on Sunday. And what a performance by the Eagles, 12-0, barring another goal here by either squad. But with 10 seconds remaining, that is not looking like it's going to happen unless Vincentson able to get it down inside, and no. That one will go to the far sideline, eventually pushed out of bounds, and that'll end the game. Eagles win 12-0 over the Beavers and will head down to Watertown to face Thomas in the Central Maine Championship.
A very, very solid outing from the Eagles. It seemed like everything today was just going right. On the offensive side of the ball, they were aggressive, got their shots off on the goal when they needed to, really just did everything on defense, as we expect, ultra aggressive, incredibly scrappy, and all around very, very solid performance for the Eagles, but do not discredit the Beavers. Of course, an 0-12 shutout doesn't look good on any stat sheet that you're on, but they maintained their composure. They played a very solid game, and defensively they really held their own up until that second period. But this team, this Farmington team, call me on this right now, is going to be very, very scary as the season progresses.
They think they're going to do very well going into the next season. They know what they have. They know what they need to improve upon. But we'll go ahead and just talk about a few of the players at the game, Sam. Faith Tillotson with 3 goals. She had a hat trick in the first half. Just an incredible game by her. We also have to mention Tessa Capozzoli had herself a good game as well. And then Ruby Kitchen came in and scored 2 goals of her own. And then we saw that a few really incredible plays from Maddie Perkins. An all-around team effort and team win today.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're Coach Doloff for the Eagles, you cannot be more impressed with the way your team came together and played super, super well. Like a well-oiled machine, as they say. The Eagles, if they continue to play at this rate, they're going to be a very tough team to stop throughout these playoffs.
And that's going to do it here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. For Sam Miller, I'm Max Sturm. We hope you all had a great day and a great broadcast, and we'll see you soon.